Welcome to Math 101, where we dive into the fascinating world of algebra in Module 3. Get ready to explore the building blocks of mathematics. Tonight, make sure to complete your ALEKS homework and quizzes for Module 2, along with the Blackboard reflection assignment. Remember, ALEKS contributes significantly to your overall grade. Looking ahead, keep an eye on the tracking calendar for upcoming due dates. Module 3 assignments and quizzes are on the horizon, so plan your study time accordingly. Let's check in on your ALEKS progress. As a class, you've covered 58% of the topics, which is a great start. Keep pushing forward to master all 168 topics. Module 3 is now a part of your overall grade calculation in Blackboard. Stay focused and ensure you understand the material thoroughly. It is very important to you keep working in ALEKS as part of your independent study. ALEKS is 50% of your overall grade. Last week, we tackled fractions and decimals. This week, our focus shifts to solving algebraic equations and working in ALEKS. Remember to participate in class activities and complete your assignments. Keep your tracking calendar handy so you don't miss any important deadlines. In Module 2, it's important to understand how to plot fractions on a number line. To do this effectively, match the denominators and the calibration on the number line accordingly. For instance, consider the fractions 9/10 and 1 4/5. In this example, the number line is divided into 10 equal parts, making it easy to locate 9/10, which is represented at the 9th tick before the whole number 1. To plot 1 4/5 on the same number line, we first need to convert it so that the denominator matches 10. We do this by multiplying both the numerator and denominator of 4/5 by 2, which gives us 8/10. Therefore, 1 4/5 becomes 1 8/10. We can now plot this fraction at the 8th tick after the whole number 1. This is a problem in ALEKS Module 2. You may have encountered this type of problem before, but here's a reminder to assist you if you find it challenging. Ordering real numbers from least to greatest can be tricky. First, you'll need to convert all of them to decimal numbers. Use your mouse to drag and position the numbers correctly. And remember to consider both positive and negative values. Why do we study algebra? Algebra is more than just solving for x. It's a way of thinking logically, solving problems, and making smart decisions. Whether in daily life or professional settings, algebra simplifies complex situations. Learning algebra is essential for real-life applications, enhancing problem-solving skills, preparing for various careers, and boosting confidence in handling numbers and decisions. Algebra teaches you how to think, not just how to calculate. In Module 3, we will review the sign rules for multiplying and dividing integers. Remember that when you multiply or divide integers, like signs produce a positive result, while unlike signs yield a negative result. If you haven't yet mastered the rules for integers from your previous math classes, please take the time to review the additional resources available in the Blackboard Module 3 folder. Additionally, make sure to spend extra time practicing in ALEKS. In Module 3, it's important to review the rules for working with positive and negative numbers, especially when adding and subtracting. These sign rules are key for simplifying expressions and solving equations correctly. When adding integers, if both numbers have the same sign, add the numbers and keep the sign. Example, positive 4 plus positive 8 equals positive 12. If the numbers have different signs, subtract the smaller absolute value from the larger and keep the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. When subtracting integers, change subtraction to adding the opposite, then follow the addition rules. Remember the invisible math concepts like multiplication and division signs and the significance of zero are fundamental. These concepts help in understanding the deeper layers of algebra. This is also posted on Blackboard Module 3. You will not use all of these in Module 3, but it is good to remember these invisibles in math. Don't forget to explore additional resources on Blackboard Module 3. These resources, including step-by-step equation solving videos, can enhance your understanding of algebraic concepts. Let's break down basic algebra terms. Coefficients, variables, and constants form the foundation of algebraic expressions. Understanding these terms is crucial for solving equations. Constants are fixed values, while variables represent unknowns. Grasping these definitions is essential for manipulating algebraic expressions and solving equations. Coefficients are numbers placed in front of variables, and terms can include constants, coefficients, and variables. Recognizing these components is vital for algebraic manipulation. To evaluate an expression means to replace the variables with given values and simplify the expression until you reach a final answer. You do not solve for a variable instead, you substitute the values and do the math step by step and follow the order of operations. This ensures accurate results and a deeper understanding of algebraic relationships. For example, in the expression 2x plus 3y, we plug the values of x and y and get 2 times 2 plus 3 times 1, which is equal to 7. Remember the rules for multiplying and dividing integers. Like signs result in a positive product, while unlike signs lead to a negative outcome. Practice these rules to master integer operations. Simplifying algebraic expressions involves removing parentheses and combining like terms. Follow these steps to streamline expressions and solve equations efficiently. For example, 2. That minus sign in front of the parentheses is actually like multiplying by 1. We use the distributive property to multiply 1 by everything inside the parentheses. To solve equations, we need to isolate the variable on one side. There is a much detailed video about solving equations posted in Blackboard Module 3. For example, in the equation x minus 12 equals 4, we add 12 to both sides to find x equals 16. Similarly, for 3 plus x equals negative 5, subtract 3 from both sides to get x equals negative 8. If you're confused about this topic, please review the video on Blackboard Module 3 and the additional resources. In more complex equations like 8x minus 13x equals negative 45, we first combine like terms to simplify the equation. This gives us negative 5x equals negative 45. Dividing both sides by negative 5, we find x equals 9. Remember, you can only combine terms that are like. Examples of like terms 4x and 2x both have the variable x. Another example is 3y squared and 7y squared as both have y squared. Also, 5 and 3 both are constants, no variables. Word problems can be solved by setting up equations. For instance, if patient A receives 3 times the medicine as patient B, and together they receive 200 milligrams, we can set up the equation 3x plus x equals 200. Solving this, we find 4x equals 200 so that x equals 50 milligrams. This means that patient B receives 50 milligrams and patient A receives 150 milligrams. For the class activity, we will focus on algebraic expressions and equations. You will have a few minutes to work with your classmate to solve the problem. Feel free to discuss and compare your answers before we review them together as a class. If you missed the meeting, feel free to pause the video to complete the exercise, then press play to check your answers. Okay, for problem 1, let's evaluate algebraic expressions using specific values for variables. For 3x squared plus 4y squared, substitute x equals 2 and y equals 1. Following the order of operations, we find the result is 16. Continuing with expression evaluation, for 2 plus 4 times the quantity x plus y plus 2z, substitute x equals 2, y equals 1, and z equals negative 3. Simplifying, we find the result is negative 10. To find the perimeter of a rectangle, use the formula 2L plus 2W. For a rectangle with length 17 inches and width 15 inches, the perimeter is calculated as 64 inches. When calculating medicine doses, consider the formula 20C plus 45A. For 12 adults and 10 children, the total grams needed is 740. Remember that 0.5 kilogram is the same as 500 grams. With only 500 grams available, we need 240 grams more. Simplifying algebraic expressions involves removing parentheses and combining like terms. For example, x plus 7 minus 2 times the quantity x plus 5. We need to distribute the minus 2 inside the parenthesis first, then we can combine like terms, x minus 2x and 7 minus 5. This simplifies to negative x minus 3. Understanding algebraic equations involves knowing properties of equality. The addition-subtraction property allows adding or subtracting the same value from both sides, while the multiplication-division property allows multiplying or dividing both sides by the same value. Solving linear algebraic equations involves several steps. Simplify both sides, use addition or subtraction to isolate the variable, divide by the coefficient, and check your solution by substitution. To solve equations like negative 2x equals 10, divide both sides by negative 2 to find x equals negative 5. Similarly, for 2x minus 5 equals 15, add 5 and divide by 2 to find x equals 10. Continuing with solving equations for 2x plus 3 equals negative 19, subtract 3 and divide by 2 to find x equals negative 11. For 7x plus 7 equals 6x plus 10, we combine like terms first, subtract 6x from 7x to find x plus 7 equals 10. Then we can subtract 7 on both sides of the equation to find that x equals 3. In word problems, setting up equations helps find solutions. When solving word problems, we usually let x represent the thing we know the least about, the unknown, or the one with no extra information attached. For example, if patient A receives 3 times the medicine as patient B, and together they receive 200 milligrams, we choose patient B equals x because we don't know how much patient B gets. Patient A's dose is described in terms of patient B's, 3 times as much. So it depends on x, then we write patient A equals 3x and then patient B equals x, then the total we get 3x plus x equals 200. Rule to remember, pick x to represent the value that is not described in terms of anything else. Once we have that, we can build an equation and solve it. Here 4x equals 200, so x equals 200 divided 4, which is 50 milligrams. For a bookkeeper calculating costs, if the desk costs 5 times the chair and together they cost $720, set up the equation x plus 5x equals 720. Solving, the chair costs $120 and the desk $600. When calculating costs, if the total cost is 8 times the accessories and the total is $6,600, we let the unknown, the one not described in terms of anything, be x. Set up the equation 6600 equals 8x. Solving this, we get the accessories cost $825. Okay, so remember today, make sure to complete your ALEKS homework and quiz with 2 attempts and Blackboard assignment reflection in Module 2. Keep working in ALEKS as it accounts for 50% of your overall grade. Also, 2 weeks from now, finish Module 3 ALEKS homework and take the quiz. Remember, you have 2 attempts and submit the check-in for the Blackboard Module 3 assignment. Stay on top of your tasks to succeed. Remember to keep working in ALEKS at home, as it contributes significantly to your overall grade. We'll continue with Module 3 Algebra next week, so stay engaged and prepared. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it comes from what you do consistently. See you next meeting.